Officers may have been unprepared for that confrontation.
This comes as new numbers show Houston and Harris County are leading the nation in officer-involved shootings per capita.
A manager at the group home where Brian Clonch lived and died is talking about the confusion that night.
Our Jeff McShann has the story you'll see only on KHOU 11 News.
John Garcia helps run the group home where double amputee Brian Clonch was killed by police. He says the manager on duty called 911 to report that Clonch was out of control and threatening others.
And he was trying to talk to the dispatcher and tell him that something was happening at the house.
He also tried to tell him that Clonch was a mental patient, but there was another problem.
He tried to explain to 911 that there was a situation and the person was mentally ill, and they couldn't hear each other. Even though he was trying, there was too much static on the line, and so he said, they would say, "I can't hear you," and he would say, "I can't hear you."
Garcia says the manager was using a cordless phone. And that could have changed a lot of things, John.
Absolutely.
If the story is accurate, it would explain why officers from HPD's mental health squad were not called to the scene. The nationally recognized unit is small, but each officer is accompanied by a mental health clinician, and all are specially trained. Was he capable of possibly hurting the police?
Well, I'm not saying he could hurt the police, but Brian was very strong, and he was very agile. He was fast. He could spin that wheelchair around like it was a bicycle.
Important information for detectives who are still investigating this case. Jeff McShann, KHOU 11 News.
The FBI is monitoring HPD's investigation of that shooting. A retired FBI agent and use of force expert says it's tough to judge exactly what happened that night, given the split-second decision-making that was required of the officer who fired the fatal shot.
It's certainly many cases like this where there's a low-light situation, it's rapidly evolving, and the officer perceives a deadly threat, and he reacts appropriately based on his training. If things are happening, you have to decide. It's a life or death decision that you must make now.
The officer who killed Clonch was put on standard 3-day leave. He is scheduled to return to work tomorrow.